What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromTheFrontDesk. This story's called, "A Scammer Thought She Had a Foolproof Plan for a Free Vacation, but She Paid for It in the End." I will always remember this wannabe scam artist. I was working corporate guest relations, and I received a very long email from a guest about their stay at our resort property in Mexico. This was a very nice, all-inclusive beachfront resort. She put a lot of effort into the email, which was basically a day-by diary of her 8-night stay, listing every possible complaint someone could come up with, along with a huge collection of pictures as evidence. It was several pages long, and it looked something like this. Day 1. The shuttle driver was rude. We had to wait 30 minutes to check in. The view is horrible. We can't see the ocean. The sheets were dirty. Picture attached. The AC is so loud I can't sleep. There is a crack in the sidewalk outside our room. Picture attached. My dinner was cold and there wasn't any salt and pepper on the table. The shower has no water pressure. Day 2. We had breakfast at blank and they were out of pancakes. My daughter's favorite cereal, blank, wasn't available. There were loud children playing in the pool all day. There is a light out in the pathway. Picture attached. I called the front desk to ask for more towels and no one answered. I think housekeeping took money out of my purse. The chairs in the lobby are uncomfortable. One of the electrical plugs in my room doesn't work. Imagine a list with 100 more things from her 8-night stay. Every department from front desk, housekeeping, maintenance, etc. Now, some of the complaints seemed plausible, but really, who spends their entire vacation making a log of everything they think is wrong with a resort? Especially a hotel we get very little complaints about. So I contacted the front office manager to discuss the guest, assuming the front desk system, which I cannot access, would have all the logs from this woman's complaints. The hotel logs everything, but there was nothing there. In fact, the entire time she was at the hotel, she never voiced any complaints. She merely logged them in her little complaint diary and went about her business. Many of her issues were extremely petty. For example, the crack in the sidewalk was about 3 inches long and was flat on both sides. It wasn't a tripping hazard, just a small crack. The light out in the path, even in the picture, I could see that the area was still very well lit because they have lights everywhere in that area. Her room didn't have an ocean view because she booked a courtyard view. The picture of dirty sheets showed one tiny little black spot in the corner, like if you tap the sheet with the tip of a pen or a fine marker. It took 30 minutes to check in because she showed up 3 hours early and they had to get the room ready. The shower in her room was fine and the AC unit was not loud at all. We looked into everything, talked to all the department heads, and had the room she stayed in fully inspected. While the list made it seem like she had a horrible stay, there really wasn't any substance behind her complaints. So since this all seemed a bit fishy to everyone, I called the guest and spoke with her about her complaints. I told her that I had been in contact with the hotel and we couldn't find any record of her complaints, and I inquired who at the hotel she had spoken with while she was there, and she admitted no one. I gave her my apologies and suggested that next time she should express her complaints while on property, so they can be immediately addressed. For example, housekeeping would have been happy to change out the dirty sheets, etc., etc. Keep in mind, she was there for 8 nights at an all-inclusive resort with 7 different restaurants, 4 bars, multiple pools, etc. She probably never left the hotel, but never said a word about all the problems she was having. Note: 100% of the employees speak English. It's a requirement because this is an American hotel chain. So in the name of customer service, I tell her that we would like an opportunity to make this right, and offered her 3 free nights to come back in the future. Nope, that's not good enough. She wants a full refund, $6,500, and nothing less. I told her that I would discuss and get back to her. The next day, I informed her that the hotel would not offer a refund, but they were willing to add in another night. So now that's 4 free nights. Nope, unacceptable. She continues to demand a full refund. We went back and forth. She wanted my manager, who then told her the same thing. The guest hung up on my boss after things got a bit heated. A few days later, she calls again and wants to know the status of her refund. How do you give someone a status on something that's never gonna happen? She says she's gonna contact corporate. I roll my eyes and explain to her again that I am the corporate guest relations coordinator. I am corporate. I spent forever on the phone talking with this woman who just refused to accept the free nights and was hell-bent on getting her money back. She just kept going back to her list. Well, what about blank? What are you gonna do about blank? I wouldn't budge. It is 4 free future nights or nothing, lady. Then the unimaginable happened. In all my years of customer service, I have never ever had a scammer resort to telling the truth. When she finally realized she wasn't getting a refund, she cried, "I can't afford to pay this. I don't have the money. I don't know what to do. You have to help me." I was like, "You can't afford to pay? Weren't you planning on paying for your stay when you made the reservation? It's not like we are charging you more than you agreed to, and we are still offering you free nights for your next visit." She responded, completely broken and weeping, "I didn't think I would have to pay. I thought I would get my money back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Please, you have to help me. I can't pay for this. I've got kids. Please, you gotta do something to help me out. I need you to give me a refund. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't get that money back. I can't pay for this." Did this woman just admit that she planned all of this, thinking she was just gonna complain her way into a $6,500 refund? Yes, she did just say that. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do." Guest, who now sounds like she is having a panic attack, says, "I've got to get that money back. I've got to do something. You gotta help me out here. I don't know what else to do. I don't have the money. I can't pay for this." "Ma'am, you should have thought about that before you went on a vacation you can't afford." Yeah, I shouldn't have said this, but I was just done with this woman. She had wasted enough of my time already. Not to mention all of the people at the hotel who looked into her entire list of bullcrap. She cried some more, then she resorted to screaming, so I hung up on her. Everything was noted. All my calls are recorded, so I went ahead and attached that file. She did send some hate mail to our corporate offices, but due to the fact that I had a recording of her admitting she was trying to scam us, they ignored her letters. Oh, and her frequent guest membership was flagged as being banned from all properties. We did not send her the free night certificates either. You know what? 4 free nights? That's insane. Like, they were really trying to help her out there for absolutely no reason. She could have taken that certificate and sold it to someone else for some money, but no. Yes, that was scummy of her. This story's called "Crazy Old Woman Thinks No One Should Be Allowed to Eat Food in Hotels Because She Can Smell It." For context, I work at a small 62-room property where we only have one desk attendant on shift at a time. As such, we do solid 8-hour shifts and don't get actual breaks. We take breaks to eat when we have the chance. It's currently in the middle of our slow season right now, and there is very, very little to deal with during my shifts, so I can take a break to eat pretty much whenever I want. I was taking a moment to eat some dinner when an older woman came in through the lobby door. She just walked straight into the hotel, and I had no reason to think anything of it. A few minutes later, she comes back in through the front door again. This time, she walks straight through but gives me this weird, glaring kind of look as she does. It should be noted that anytime anyone comes through the lobby, I am always standing, ready to greet and assist them, unless occupied with another guest, of course. 5 or so minutes go by, and this time she comes back through the lobby again, but from the inside of the hotel going out the front door. Once again, giving me a strange glare as she does so, but not stopping or saying anything to me. This happens 2 more times, until the last time she stops in the middle of the lobby and just stares at me. I ask her if I can assist her with anything, and she says, "I can smell food and I can tell that you've been eating." Internally, I'm thinking, okay, and? I tell her, yes, I have been taking a break for dinner. She tells me that I am not allowed to eat while I'm on the job and that she is going to report me. I tell her that is not true, and as we do not get breaks, we are perfectly allowed to consume food whenever we like. She snaps back with saying, "Don't lie to me, I'll be having a word with your manager," and wanders off. About 10 or so minutes later, I get a call from the woman from her room where she states, "I can smell your food in my room and you need to stop eating." Now this is getting really strange and ridiculous. This woman is literally on the other end of the hotel and there is quite frankly no possible way that she can smell my food outside of the lobby, let alone somehow across the hotel in her room. I'm outright done with this woman and her ridiculousness at this point, and tell her that quite plainly there is no way that she could be able to smell my food from her room, and she can speak with the owner in the morning who will confirm to her that I am permitted to eat while on shift. She, yelling at this point, says, "This whole hotel smells like food because of you and it's ruining my stay. If you don't fix this problem, I will be contacting your corporation and filing a formal complaint." I had long been done eating my very much not at all fragrant turkey sandwich at this point and decided to wander down to where her room was to see if there were any offending smells wafting down there. I get to the end of the hall where her room is at, and it does in fact smell like food down that way. It smells like someone in a room nearby had microwaved some delicious lasagna or something. I call back to her room and tell her that I have investigated the problem and that it appears that another guest of the hotel has prepared some food and apologized for the inconvenience, but that anyone is allowed to eat food here and there is nothing I can do about the fact that she can smell it. She snaps back at me saying, "This is a hotel, not a restaurant. Why would people be eating here? This should not be allowed and I'm still reporting you." Yeah. Whatever, lady. You do you. A little while later, I get a call from a woman saying that her mother is staying at our hotel and that she had just called her very upset, saying that she felt unsafe because there were noxious fumes inside the hotel, and that her mother had said she tried to report the problem to the front desk, but that no one was at the front desk because they were too busy eating and were ignoring everything, and asked me if I was aware of the problem and if she needed to contact authorities because of it. At this, I could not help but let out a laugh. I explained to the daughter of this woman, who she had called to complain for her now, that the noxious fumes were someone microwaving food in a room nearby, and there were certainly no hazardous substances or any threat to anyone's health at this hotel, and that I have personally spoken with her mother a number of times over the last hour. Her response surprised me, as I was prepared for more ridiculousness. She just said, "Oh, it sounds like she's in one of her moods. Sorry about that. I'll take care of it." And I haven't heard from the old woman since. What is wrong with people like this? It's like they are a classic stereotype of an old, miserable person that just wants to make other people miserable in any way they can and manifest problems for them to complain about. I look forward to seeing if she reports me in the morning. This story is called, "I thought she might be a pervert, but it turns out that she was just having a total brain fart." You asked for more stories, so I thought I'd give you something funny for Christmas morning. It's important to note that this story occurred in the early 90s with old tech, in that I am a female. I was working the front desk on a very slow evening when the in-house phone rings. Big ol' switchboard told me what room number it was coming from. "Front desk, this is OP. How may I assist you?"
Yeah, I like a massage in my room. Can you do that? How much would it cost me to get you here right now?
I'm sorry, you want what? I'm thinking I must have misunderstood this girl, or maybe she's a perv, or she thinks we have a spa. You just never know in this industry. I can't tell you how many dudes have tried to get me to go to their rooms. It's disgusting.
I want a massage. It says you are available, so I'd like you to come to my room now. Can you tell me how much?
I'm seriously confused and starting to think it's a prank or she really is a weirdo perv. I'm sorry, we don't have a spa or offer any kind of massage services.
Yes, you do. It says so right here. That's why I called you.
I assure you, we don't offer massages. You are seeing this information where exactly? Can you describe the advertisement you're seeing in your room?
It's the button I pushed and then you answered.
I'm dumbfounded. You mean on the phone?
Yes, it says massage and the light was blinking, so I thought that meant someone was available. So I pushed the button and it called you.
Ma'am, literally had to pause and cover my mouth so I didn't laugh. That says message. The light means you have a message waiting for you.
Oh, it says message.
Random dude in the background of our hotel room.
Silence.
Ma'am, would you like your message?
Yes, please.
I gave her the message, she said thanks and hung up. Then I laughed so hard I cried. Okay, now I'm remembering that not everything in the hotel was horrible. Sometimes you get guests like these that just, they're a load of fun to talk to and interact with, and sometimes they goof up and it's funny. That's a pretty funny story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.